the world. We're gonna take on the world. Standing tall, we gotta make it our own. No waiting around. Winners would never look down. No one can stop us, we got it. The future is right in our hands. Give it 100%. We gonna take on the world. Yeah, we gotta move. Speaking the truth. Yeah, paying our dues. We making the news. Yeah, we hitting the roof. No, we don't wanna lose. Climbing and shaking the walls. We gotta break all the rules. We're gonna take on the world. 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 We're gonna take on the world.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Core Show. Happy belated Easter. Happy April Fool's Day. Happy everything else in between. I hope you had an awesome weekend. I hope you got some rest. I hope you got some relaxation. I hope you did everything you needed to, hanging out, family, friends, loved ones, just to get charged up for not only a whole new fun-filled week of trading in the largest casino ever, but also a whole new month. So we have a lot to chit-chat about. For some reason, my chat's not loading. Are you guys here? Am I live? Is this working? While I'm waiting to, well, I literally can see no chat. Are you guys even chatting? It's just weird because maybe you're not, and I just don't want to give out demerits inappropriately. That would be bad if I'm just slinging demerits, but no one actually really deserved it. Maybe I just need to give it the old reload. I'll give it a second or two to try to figure it out. But in the meantime, it's showing that I'm live. I believe, yeah. No, it is saying that I'm live. Streaming. So I think I'm good across the board. I think it's just on my end, my internet or something. I'm not seeing what's actually happening in chat. So you guys are going to have to moderate yourself. I won't be giving out demerits for a hot second until I figure out what's going on, but I'm sure some people are going to get demerits. Obviously, we'll give the big man upstairs, Jesus, 3 days to come to class, but you guys, I fully expect you to be here on time every single day. So like I said, we had a long weekend. Market closed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hope you got that relaxation. Hope you got that rest. Hope you got your mindset for not only a whole new week, but a whole new month of fun in the sun, aka the world's largest casino. So I want to talk about it because right now we have the SPY, the S&P 500, hitting a new all-time high on Thursday. We had gold hitting a new all-time high. We had Bitcoin looking pretty good, taking a bit of a hit right now. So those are the three major things I want to dive into in terms of big picture stuff. Obviously, also related to big picture stuff, I want to talk about what happened on Friday. Even though the market was closed, Jerome Powell gave a speech, and we also got the PCE report, the personal consumption expenditure. It's another inflation report. So that came out in line. So I want to talk a bit about inflation, which obviously is having an impact on the overall market, gold, Bitcoin, and also bond/yield. So we're going to get into that. A little bit of a very quick recap on that situation. But then I want to turn it over to the things to pay attention to for not only today, but this week and also this month. I'm particularly excited because I feel like with every new week, but especially every new month, it kind of feels like a little bit of a restart of like, okay, you kind of you have to be a little bit more honest with yourself of what worked recently, what hasn't worked. And really, March for me personally in my own trading account, similar to the overall market, very choppy, just getting kind of messed up here, there, everywhere. And it was all my fault. 100%. I was playing too big. I was playing too aggressive. So in the final half of March, I was able to size things down. And unfortunately for me, I hit every single trade in the latter half of March. So I sized down, which means I made less money. Really, if I kept my sizing, I would have recovered quite a bit. But hey, that is part of the process. So we're going to get into a couple things, some trade review, some market review, some news review. We got a lot to get into. Obviously, before we do that, if you enjoy this type of daily breaking news, BSing, and degenerate trading, this is the place for you. Welcome to the Goonie community. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And with that being said, it is time to rock and roll. Stock futures rise to start the second quarter as Dow approaches 40,000. So yes, not only is it a new week and a new month, it is the new quarter. So January, February, March, right there, first three, that's the first quarter. So we're kicking off a new one. So it feels like we are turning the page. We are commencing a new chapter. And on that news, we're coming in pretty strong. I mean, all-time high hit on Thursday on the SPY. The Qs didn't hit an all-time high, but they're about 1.2% away. As you're about to see, gold did hit it actually went higher. So when the market concluded on Thursday, new high, but looks like we went even higher to 2,286. So gold absolutely crushing it. Gold hits fresh all-time peak as U.S. data lifts June rate cut hopes. I get it. Historically, as in coming into this year, everyone and their grandma was calling for a gazillion rate cuts this year. I'm not saying that hyperbolically. I'm not saying that figuratively. I mean, like literally, they're like, we think a gazillion rate cuts are going to happen. And then we got into the year and they're like, well, not happening in the first month, not happening in the second month, definitely not happening in the third month. And then everyone's starting to think, dude, we already burned an entire quarter. How are we going to get to a gazillion rate cuts? And the Fed's like, well, we've been telling you 3 this entire time. And the markets, but we were betting on a gazillion. And the Fed's like, we don't know what to say about that because we kept telling you it's going to be 3. And the time came, they didn't give us the rate cuts because they were only really picturing 3. And then the market's like, oh, wow, you're only going to give us 3. And the Fed's like, that's literally what we've been telling you this entire time. So anyway, to summarize, the first real chance statistically of a rate cut will be in June of this year. Now, we do have another May meeting at the end of April, start of May. So basically at the end of this month is when it's going to get going. We get the results right at the start of May. Once again, the odds of a rate hike or cut is pretty much 0. It's not actually 0, but it's pretty much 0. So once again, we do have a whole nother FOMC meeting where they're probably not going to do anything. And then the one after that is the June one, which according to Powell and what he said on Friday, he was leaning at like, okay, that's the time to shine. That is the time that like we're probably going to get some sort of rate cut. Now, to tie this all together, the fact that we've been in a pretty aggressive Fed rate hike cycle, we're sitting at 5.25%, that's put a lot of downward pressure. And the reason they did this was to fight inflation. But unfortunately, we're in a situation where the money supply is getting a bit more tight, and yet we're still experiencing inflation. If you haven't bought groceries in a little bit, you're probably missing out on the fact that seemingly everything is much more expensive. Now, whether right or wrong, and I said this a little bit in my update video yesterday, whether right or wrong, and we could get into the minute details of it, but when things are going well, they attribute it to the leader. And when things are going poorly, they attribute it to the leader, regardless if the leader did the good thing or the bad thing. So right now, I'm not here to get into the nuanced details of did Biden promote inflation, and if he did, to what degree? Obviously he did, but is it 100% his fault, 90% his fault, 80%, blah, blah, blah. That's where you can get into the kind of discussion about it. It doesn't matter. My point is that when there is bad inflation and people are feeling the financial pinch of the time, and then especially when you add in the fact that politicians are treading like no other, making millions of dollars, we're giving away money to this cause, that cause, and the other cause, people get angry, and obviously rightfully so. And when that happens, obviously, there's going to be some blame on the guy in control, which is Biden, who is obviously seeking re-election this year, which led us into an interesting time with Easter. So first of all, Jesus 3 days later. I thought that was particularly funny. And then people took it to the next level and started making even more comedic edits that I just wanted to share with you. So we have Biden walking up the stairs for Air Force One, and obviously the Easter Bunny had a thing or two to say. Let me make sure the volume's all right. I don't want to blow your ears out. Yeah, Easter Bunny not happy with the guy. But on a very real note, young voters are more concerned with the economy. That's bad for Biden. Some interesting stats to throw at all of you. They're weighed down by student debt. They're shut out of the housing market. They're hit by higher cost of living, and they want President Joe Biden to listen. At a time when Donald Trump is cutting into Biden's 2020 advantage with young adults, the growing list of grievances among those between 18 and 29 is a worrying sign for Biden as he seeks a second term. And why is it? It's because people vote with their checkbook. Percentage of voters who list economy as the top issue by age. So in the 2020 election, obviously the one that Biden won beating Trump, you can see by the different age groups, it didn't really, people didn't care that much. 11% in the youngest group. And then even the highest one from 30 to 49 as like working professionals with their family and everything, it only 18%. See how much this has changed? This one graphic, this one piece of data, this really one statistical breakdown is a very, very big concern for the Biden administration. Look, I mean, if more than 4x in the youngest group, and the Biden administration was very much relying on that group for their votes. Now, I'm not here to say, hey, who you should or shouldn't vote for. I just ask that you do vote. And most importantly, I ask that you have some sort of informed reasoning. I don't even care if you agree with my opinions. I just want you to have some sort of developed opinion. And I think we would be way ahead. But on this one little slice of data, the Biden administration should be legitimately concerned because in every single category, it grew. And in the youngest category, 18 to 29, from 2020 to 2024, it is 4x the amount of people in that age group that are listing the economy as their number one issue. And right now, the economy is not doing well. The stock market's doing well. You could argue it's kind of on some thin ice, but that's a different story. It's more of the economy is not doing well. They're going to blame the guy who's leading the country as in lowering his chances. And that's just for the youngest age group. If you look between 30 and 49, it more than doubled. And then if you look from 50 to 64, almost doubled. And then 65 plus, it was an increase, almost double, but not too much. I mean, when you're of that age, they probably are focusing on some other things, obviously. But this fact, these two groups from 18 to 49, the fact that they both really doubled or more, that's not good. Not good, not good, not good. The concern is being reflected in polls. Trump is currently leading the president 47 to 40 with voters 18 to 34 in swing states. By contrast, Biden won 61% of the votes under 30 in the last cycle. That's a huge swing. That's a big, big change in what happened 4 years ago heading into this particular election now. Though the November election is months off and attitudes can shift, there's no doubt Biden will need support from Gen Z and millennial voters to win. Incumbents get the blame when voters are dissatisfied with the economy. Once again, it doesn't matter if it's truly their fault or not. People, the whole saying like the buck has to stop somewhere. If things are going well, we attribute it to the leadership. If things are going poorly, we attribute it to the leadership. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. That's how a lot of people end up voting. The challenge for Biden is that even though economic growth has been solid in the past year, the job market is robust and inflation rate is cooling. Poll after poll show many people don't feel like that. And they don't feel like that because sometimes the data is skewed. Sometimes the media puts a spin on it. Sometimes the administration gets up there and they give their big fancy speeches and they say things that are discongruent, if you will, with reality. It is very, very strange when you have all these speeches of how amazing life is right now, but then that speech is being cast to the average viewer who's like, well, hang on, you're saying that this is amazing and I'm having an issue paying my utility bill. And then when a lot of people feel that, there's a big, big discontent that is obviously going to make some people angry. So obviously, we're clearly in an election year, and within an election year, there's going to be a big, big light a big focus. We're going to be highlighting the economy, and thus with the economy, you have an impact on the stock market, specifically the overall market, such as the S&P 500, gold, bond, yield. All this stuff is going to have high volatility, big swings. I want us to be on the right side of it. And ideally, I want us to be on the right side enough that we can make a good chunk of change, which brings me a little bit more specific to this week and the things that I think we should be paying attention to. As I alluded to on Friday when the market was closed, we got the PCE report, another inflation report. The core PCE year over year came in at 2.8%, which was expectation. The more interesting thing was Jerome Powell speaking afterwards on Friday, once again, when the market was closed. And he was basically saying, hey, if we keep trending this way, probably going to get rate cuts in June. Honestly, like, he didn't say that verbatim. He would never say, oh, we're going to get actually rate cuts in time. But to summarize, that's what he was strongly hinting at. Now, this particular week, we're going to get some ISM manufacturing numbers. We're going to get some JOLTS job openings on Tuesday, some CPI out of the Eurozone, non-manufacturing numbers. Powell will be speaking again Wednesday, initial jobless claims on Thursday. And then Friday is probably going to be the biggest day of the week, where the first Friday of every new month, you get the unemployment report for the last month. This time around, they're looking at 3.9%, which is actually a slight uptick from the recent numbers we've been coming in at 3.5, 3.6, 3.7. So they're actually looking for a jump in the unemployment rate this Friday, April the 5th, an hour before the market opens. So worthwhile to pay attention to that. Since we're talking a little bit about the bigger picture, I did put this, where can I find? Oh, right here. Sign up. This is pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Sign up for Locals. It is free. There's a membership. It's called Member. That is completely free, always free. And then there's a premium membership called a Supporter. You could become a supporter for free by using the code Goonie. And if you do that, if you're a supporter, that's how you get connection to the Discord. So Locals is not only kind of Substack-esque, where I can send out these newsletters to you and trade updates and all that stuff, but on top of it, it's the membership management for Discord. So if you want to trade with me, other people, get some private lectures on the weekend, some of that good stuff, it is all in via the Locals community. That's how you get the newsletter. That's how you also get connected to the Discord. And I'll explain more on that in a second, but I just want to kind of highlight a certain aspect of the newsletter that comes out every single weekend. Since it's a new month, I gave you the seasonality of the S&P 500. So if we look at March in the lower left of your screen right here, very choppy. Historically, over the past 2 to 3 decades, this is a choppy day. Little bit up, little bit down, no clear trend. I, for one, am very, very happy that the month of March is over and we concluded that quarter, because when we get into April, it's looking good. April is not historically the strongest month, but it is a stronger month. You can see the seasonality of it clearly favors the bulls, a slow grind to the upside. So is this a guarantee that that's how this April is going to play out? No, I have no idea how this April is going to play out. But if history has anything to tell us about this particular month, I, for one, am excited. So anyway, check that out. Also, I thought this was going to be a little bit easier for everyone, so I gave you all the major macroeconomic events for every individual day of the week. I highlight the earnings right now. This section's a little bit more sparse just because there's not that many earnings going on this week. You might care about Dave & Buster's, BlackBerry, Levi's. Those are probably the 3 major ones. With respect to every individual trading day, I break that down. So, for example, today, Monday, April the 1st, historically, over the past 25 years, the bulls have won this day 2 out of every 3 times, roughly 65%, with a profit factor of 1.5. And this is what the hypothetical equity curve would look like if you bought at open, sold at close every single day in the S&P 500 futures market for this day, for this individual day, buying it open, selling it close over the past 25 years. Obviously, you would have roughly about 25 trades, and mostly bullish. Some of these bearish ones were a little bit more jarring, but overall, I would say that this day seasonally does favor the bulls. And then obviously, I give you every single day of the week, and then I break down some of the option trading and how the last week played out very quickly. My main pitch to you of why you should get into the Discord is mainly for Piper and the lectures. So obviously on the show, we do a lot of degeneracy. It's just fun. It's something fun to do. But why you should be in the Discord, and your first month is free, so you can kind of test drive it, see if it's your speed, see if you like it. I mean, Piper last week crushed it, ended up going 7 out of 8 trades, only missed this one trade here on Wednesday, crushed all the other ones. Then for me personally, I use Piper signals to trade myself, and just to kind of put my money where my mouth is, show you how I perform. So Monday to Thursday of last week, because the market was closed on Friday, I ended up making $2,200. So the overall account returned 7.7% when clearly clearly the overall market didn't. So obviously providing some alpha there. And then Piper itself at the minimum sizing, which is all possible to take on $1,000 account, you would have returned just over 5%, 22, 33, a loss of 61, and then another 42 trade. And once again, that's at the minimum sizing. You could scale it up. I was just using it as an example with the $1,000 account to prove that it is possible. Obviously, all this is pinned to the top of chat. Like I said, you can join the Discord right now, the locals community. They're all the same thing. You do it through locals. You'll get the newsletter. You'll get access to the Discord, private teachings on the weekend, my trades, Piper signals, other community members' trades, a lot of great discussion. It's basically a full-fledged community for people who really care about trading and are obviously trying to become hyper successful in the world of trading. So if that's something that interests you, the first month is completely free. The reason I do that is twofold. I don't want anyone to feel like they got. And second of all, I kind of want to prove to you that within that first free month, you're going to make enough money and find enough value that you're going to want to stay for the next month, the next year, whatever X amount of extra time. So to get all this for free, make sure the code Goonie is entered. Click on the link in the top of chat in the description of the video. And if the promo code Goonie is applied, hit subscribe monthly. And when you're checking out, make sure it's there. That's how you get the first month. Obviously, if you have any issues, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you out and get connected with all of that stuff. 5 things to know before that market bell goes dingity ding 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 today, Monday, in about 8 minutes. Welcome to quarter 2. Yes, we concluded the week, the month, and the quarter, so we're starting a whole new chapter. Latest inflation indication, well, we got the PCE, the personal consumption expenditure, came in at 2.8%. Inflation is still a very real thing. As much as we get these idiotic arguments from our government that we beat inflation, bring prices back down, that's not how it works. We're still inflating, just at less of a velocity. And for some reason, our elected politicians cannot understand that whatsoever. It's like blowing their mind to understand a basic mathematical financial concept. Could Disney's next CEO be the first woman to hold the job in the company's 100-year history? So some discussion there. Obviously, Disney's been under a bit of pressure, so they're looking to switch some things up. Gold rush, I covered this a little bit, but if you're just joining in, gold, the actual like commodity gold, hit another new all-time high. So congrats to all the gold bugs in here. 25 years in prison. So we got this last week. But Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX, the guy who stole billions and billions and billions of dollars, we officially got his sentencing, and it is 2.5 decades that he will be in prison. So pretty much the majority of his life. I think he's like 30, so he's going to get out probably when he's 55. It's federal, so I don't think he's going to get much time shaved off. It's still probably going to be above 20 years. But yep, his life pretty much over. Speaking of FTX, let's talk about crypto. We now are in the month. The Bitcoin halving countdown estimated to be April 20th. So in about 3 weeks, we are officially going to have the Bitcoin halving, which is, for those of you who don't know, just the high-level TLDR. Obviously, the consensus mechanism is proof of work, and the reward for validating all the transactions and thus the ledger, you get paid for that. And that payment is now going to get cut in half. That's why it's called the halving. So in about 19 days, that's going down. And only 2,700 blocks to go. Very interesting. So everyone, be on the lookout for that. There's going to be more and more craziness in the world of crypto. Right now, Bitcoin's trading just below 70,000 with a market cap of 1.3 trillion. And that puts all of crypto at a value of 2.6 trillion, which recently we had some of the meme ones, Doge, Dog with Hat, Shiba, a lot of the ones on the Solana chain, once again, looking good. Does it make sense? Obviously not. But is it 100% fun? Without a doubt. It's a good old jolly time. A little bit later, Anthony Pompliano, obviously one of the most well-known proponents of Bitcoin. He went on the Squawk Box this morning, so I want to listen to that. Haven't been through it yet, so I figured we could cover that together. But before we do, I want to do some quick chart breakdown before that market opens. The SPY, like I said, hit an all-time high on Thursday at 524.61. A little bit in pre-market now. Almost looks like it wants to close that gap. We opened up strong, but it's definitely trending down, down, down. And we're seeing that in the Qs as well. The Qs actually not to a new all-time high, but getting very close. Bitcoin not holding above 70, but kind of bouncing back. So things looked very bullish, like depending on what time you got up, around like 4 or 5 in the morning. And now we're taking a bit of a breather, but who knows? Maybe this is just to clean up the chart a little bit and we'll just rip from there. So the overall market just hitting a new all-time high. The Q is not there, but within like 1.2%. Gold, GC on the futures market, that's the contract symbol for gold futures right here, did hit a new all-time high. Bitcoin right at an interesting test zone. Higher highs, higher lows, takes a breather, a healthy consolidation into the EMA cloud, breaks out, and now we're just consolidating sideways once again. So I'm either looking for the breakdown below 68 or the breakout above 72, just to decide which direction this next leg is going to be. Solana looking phenomenal, higher highs, higher lows. Obviously, as crypto remains strong, we're going to probably expect bullishness in Coin, Mara, Riot, the related ETFs. Nvidia sideways, higher highs, higher lows, still bullish in my book. Amazon slowly but surely grinding to the upside. Meta at an interesting breather. Right now in pre-market is looking strong, so it might be bouncing right off of this. It was its original breakout zone. Tried to break out, got smacked. Tried to get going again, once again got smacked. So looking to see if this 485-ish, 480 region holds. And right now, if pre-market is any indication, all right, a decent shot. Apple's been under a crazy amount of pressure. There's no reason in my book to be bullish on Apple right now. It's just a slew of negative news, weak sales. I think Apple, obviously, it's a massive company. I don't think its long-term success is in jeopardy. I just think in the short term, it's a little bit suspect right now. Rum, it's an interesting one. Higher highs, higher lows. Potential for a short squeeze. This isn't its all-time high short interest, SI, but it's getting there. 19.6% on ticker symbol RUM. Just to be completely transparent, I'm already invested in it. Cost to borrow very high at 43. Utilization almost maxed out. But that's not the only one that's probably worthwhile to talk about for a potential squeeze play. DJT. Trump Media and Technology Corp, which recently is going, well, it got its SPAC approved, so now it's de-SPACing with DWAC, so that's why the ticker symbol switched from DWAC to DJT. But the thing I thought was crazy interesting right here, DJT. You guys got to check this out. I'm bringing it up because these numbers are some of the craziest numbers I've ever seen. So the short interest is in the realm of 11.4%, which isn't the craziest we've seen. But what is crazy is the average cost to borrow is over 340% with a maxed out utilization. For those of you who haven't heard the term utilization before, it's the percentage of shares out on loan for a potential short position that could go out on loan. So if there's only, let's just say hypothetically, 10 that could go out on loan and all 10 are out on loan, it'd be 100%. If it's 9 out of 10, it'd be 90% and not blah, blah, blah. You could do the math from there. So it's the percentage of the pool that could theoretically at that moment in time go out on loan. And right now, out of all of the DJT that could go out on loan, it is literally all out on loan and people are paying a very pretty penny for it. 343%. Absolutely crazy. So I don't have any of this, just to be transparent with all of you. At this moment in time, I'm not long, I'm not short. I was just waiting for an opportunity to get in, but definitely with numbers like this, definitely worth a spot on your watch list. All right, cool. So we're set up here, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute. All right. For you guys, don't forget that you blew out both the accounts. I just want to remind you guys that you blew out your accounts on Apex when we were doing the trading challenge. So I had to buy 2 new accounts, which means you guys are basically causing me to go poor, which is a bit of a bummer to say the least. So I have this account, 506 and 507, attempting to get those passed today. And I figure let's just go for it out of the gate. So are you guys feeling bullish? Are you feeling bearish? I'm attempting to, right now I already selected bull, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Are you feeling bullish or bearish for market open? I'm not talking about the entire day or anything like that. I'm saying for minute 1, from 9:30 to 9:31, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Crabface said bull, but we have a couple people saying bearish, bearish. I feel like in a weird way, I should do the opposite of what you guys tell me to do because both of you, Rumble and YouTube, both failed the last trading challenge by blowing out. You guys just both blew out your accounts on Thursday. It was a massive, massive, massive embarrassment. All right, I'm just going to go with my gut. And I already selected bull right here. It's this very top one. I have all these other accounts. I'm trading 18 other accounts still. So I care a lot about those, but let's see how this one ends up playing out. Let's see how this one ends up playing out. Here we go. All right. It should, if I did it right, it should fire off now.
Submitted.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if we could get these accounts approved. We're already going the wrong way. I need it to go all the way up here. Yep. Keep going. Nope. Wrong way. Very much the wrong way. All right. That's not what I wanted to see. That's not what I wanted.
Order filled.
Well, we
Target
failed that
filled.
challenge. Failed that challenge. So that's a bit of a bummer. So didn't pass it once again. So see how there's a difference here, just to very quickly explain it. There's a PA account, and then see how these don't start with a PA. If it's not a PA, that means that you're still trying to pass the challenge. So all the ones with a PA, a performance account, means you actually already passed the challenge. And if you trade well enough, you can get actual money. When it's not a PA, that means you're still in a challenge account. And I just tried to arbitrarily pass that, and I got unlucky. Obviously, I would have loved to pass it, just because every time you don't pass it, it costs money. But obviously, I inherently care a lot more about these other ones because they're trading for real money like right now. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. I'm not going to be, I can't sugarcoat that one, but at least we have some dinero rolling in on these other accounts. Obviously, if you want to give this a whirl yourself, I just want you to know that the deal's about to end. You have a day left to get in on the 80% off deal. I'm doing this all via Apex. Folks, I don't have 20 accounts at 50K each. I'm not trading with $1 million. I'm trading with someone else's money. So if you want to try to see how you can do and trade with someone else's money, I'm doing it all with Apex Trader Funding. It's currently 80% off and only 1 day to pass that test. So you can see if you're good enough, try to pass it. And then from there, if you do pass it, you can trade for real money, which is exactly what these other accounts are doing, just to kind of better explain it. The PA ones are for real money, while the ones that just start with Apex, I was attempting, because you guys blew the account out, and then obviously I failed the test out of the gate this morning, which is a little bit of a bummer. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's a little bit of a bummer, and it looks like these ones are submitted. A little bit suspect. What's going on?
Target filled.
What's happening? All right, so I'm seeing 3 accounts that are weak, but then I'm seeing all these other accounts that are already locked in their trades. Hello? Hello? What's happening? What is happening today? All right, let me drop to the 1 minute. So a little bit of shakiness right at market open, but then the Qs are returning.
Order submitted.
Hello? I don't know why I had Amazon up here. I had it just to have it up. What's green? Actually, Amazon is the most green on my watch list right now. What are you guys watching? What do you guys want in the top right screen right here? Shout it out. What's everyone interested in? Target filled. What is happening? Target filled. So out of the 18, how many are live right now? I guess I just need to let this keep running. Because so there's 3 that are struggling and the rest have already locked in. But no, these 2 haven't traded at all. 150 and 151, which I do have on. They just haven't traded yet. All right, so 3 are looking rough. All these other ones I already locked in the gains on the day. And then there's 2 that haven't traded. So 3 are in what we could refer to as a danger zone. We have, hang on, let me do the math on that. 1,400. Do I just want to kill this one? Or do I want to save it? This one's bad because I could try to save it. I'll be patient. I'll let the code work how it's supposed to. So 2 of them haven't fired off. 3 of them are in a danger zone. But the one that I particularly care about is this highlighted one right here, because I've already traded it enough days and it already has a high enough profit that I could request $2,000 out of it. So if it blows out, it's kind of like losing $2,000, which is obviously a bit of a bummer. What account is this? This is account 136. So I could try to save it. Do I want to try to save it? Do I want to try to save it, or do I want to let it just rip? Are we going to dip at all today, or is this just going to rippity?
Order filled.
All right. So these two accounts failed that test as well. So where we're at is 4 of these failed. 2 of them have not traded. Actually, no, this one hasn't traded either. 3 of them haven't traded. So all the green ones passed. 4 of them failed. And 1 is, I don't know. This is just getting unlucky at the gate here. What is happening? I'm going to have to do an analysis on this one in a bit. Yeah, this one's about to get lost as well. It's just pumping too hard. Obviously, it took a short position. I'm surprised that 3 of them haven't traded yet on this big of a move.
Order filled.
Okay, that makes sense. And then yet, we still have 3 more. To clarify, remember the difference between actual counts and challenge accounts, 2 very different things. I guess I'm just waiting on that one awkwardly. The Q's taken off out of the gate. The SPY, what are we doing here? Amazon's looking somewhat good. Where's SPX? What are we doing? What are we doing? It's strange of how strong of an opening this is when the 5 and the 10 minute on the S&P 500 futures contract, bearish, and the 30 minutes actually breaking down. The 5 minute on the Qs are trying to convert. The 10 minute is trying to convert from bearish to bullish. The 30 minute was breaking down, showing quite a bit of strength. Very, very strange opening. Very, very strange opening. We're seeing some bullishness, but coming into it, things were actually pretty bearish. Interesting. What are we doing there, Tonto? So the Qs, the tech sector is definitely catching a better bid. Here we have the SPY, maybe taking a breather right now. Of course, it's going to take a breather right after I got tapped out of my position. That's just going to be my luck, of course. Some of you are saying AMD. What about it? It's up 1%. Is there something else happening with it? I don't see anything up that's like, I mean, even SMCI has a bigger, but AMD is literally 1%. Microsoft is more. Microsoft is 1.5%. AMD moving 1% doesn't seem that special. Micron is better. As a company, I don't agree, but as a stock today, it might be doing better. Yeah, it's up 3.6%. So the stock movement today, definitely better. RUM and DJT taking a hit at an early morning hit here on DJT. Mullen is squeezing, yeah, right, over my dead body. Mullen this is just like one of the trashiest plays out there. It doesn't get much worse than what we're seeing here in Mullen. Look at this. Look at that. And the crazy thing is people argue that it'll still somehow do well. AMC hit another all-time low, or it's about to. It's really, really close. They're doing a whole nother dilution. I think they're doubling up their share count. It's pretty horrible. It's pretty sad. I feel bad for the people who are still getting duped by old Adam Aaron. Very quickly, let me check in on this. Did I just not turn? The trade has not fired for 3 of these. 50, 51. Why not? Just trying to figure out why this actually hasn't traded yet. I thought it was about to. Like, I thought on this push it should have traded, but I guess I need to figure that one out. That was a large push on the Qs. I'm a little bit surprised. The real question of the day is, do I want to fire off an iron butterfly? It feels like I do. Do I really fully know what I'm doing with an iron butterfly? Absolutely not. Definitely a little bit suspect And am I selling the right one? Let's see. I guess it's just sitting there. Trying to get myself into an iron butterfly. I was doing a bit of research on them over the weekend. Ooh, just got it. Just got it. Here, we'll give this one a whirl. We'll give this a whirl. Let's hope that we don't go absolutely crazy from this point of the day. Iron butterfly. All right. I'm setting this into the Discord if you guys are in there. And if you want my trades, if you want to learn how I trade and how I do it and trade with me, remember, you can join the Discord for free. You can join it for free. All right, threw that in there. Just to clarify, that is not the Piper strategy by any means. This is an iron butterfly. Just trying to play a little bit of the volatility crush, if you know what I mean. A little bit of the volatility crush. All right, Mullen looking like trash. Microsoft taking a bit of a breather. How's gold? Is gold still pushing like crazy? No, gold's even taking a bit of a breather right now. Strong push out of the gate. Strong push. I'm still thoroughly confused. There's no way that these other strategies, they had to fire. Why? It says that they're synced and everything. I'm a bit confused, to be completely honest. All right, so we don't need that. So which ones haven't fired? 133, 150, and 151. It's these bottom three that for some reason haven't fired. You can't see it right now because my big head is blocking it. But I'm a bit confused. 133, 150, 151. Well, let's see if we can slap on a quick manual trade. Here, let's add this in. What was it? 133. I don't like doing this, but hey, win in Rome. 133, 150, and 151. 133, 133, 133. All right. Well, like I said, win in Rome. Are you guys feeling bullish or bearish at this point? Bullish or bearish on a very quick move? Bullish or bearish? Bullish or bearish? Bullish or bearish? Should I look at some sort of charts or should I just wing it? Should I just wing it? Are we about to collapse from here? I felt like I should wait for some sort of crossover or something.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
All right, hit it. I don't know why the robots didn't fire on those three, but I just manually traded those other three. So basically, quick summary. 2 of the accounts didn't pass. I lost one of the accounts that actually pisses me off because I could have requested money out on that account this week. So that one's a bit of a bummer. And the other 2, I was just trying to play it aggressively to see if I could get them secured. So I was swinging big on that. And some of the other ones hit, the ones that were closer to $300. So these 2 I can't be that mad about. One of them I'm legitimately mad about. I just got unlucky with it, I suppose. And then these other 2, I just didn't pass the test. Like I went degeneracy times 10. So basically out of the 20 accounts, 2 of them were failed tests, actually lost 3. So out of the 18 lost 3, the other 15 good to go with these top 3 right here, 134, 135, and 133, all good for a payout request this payout period. So $2,000, $4,000, $6,000 I'll be able to request out this week. Like actual 6K going to my bank account from 2K, 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 134, 135, and 133. Would have been 8K, but I lost this account right here, 136. Bit of a bummer, but hey, that's how life goes sometimes. That is how life goes. And I guess I've traded enough on these accounts that I could probably just, all those are turned off. Okay, cool. Let me just exit out of it. Kill it. No sense in over trading or doing something silly. For those of you who are like, what is that? It's all Apex. I'm trading with their money. You pass a test to prove that you should trade with their money. And then if you do well, then you could trade for real money. That's all. Check it out. They are running an 80% off 1 day to pass, and it's lasting another day and 7 hours. 1 day, 7 hours. Godspeed. The Qs and the SPY, strong opening. Gold's taking a bit of a hit. The 5-minute and the 10-minute on the S&P 500 future is still bearish. The 5-minute and the 10-minute on the NASDAQ showing quite a bit more strength. Here's a look at the daily. The all-time high on the SPY is 524.61. So we're within 30 cents of it right now. Within 30 cents of a new all-time high. It's this green line up top on the top left of your screen. Some volatility just hit the market. And I don't know what it was. Hang on one second. All right, let me write that down. The Q's still going. Bitcoin coming back, dipping at 68.9 thousand all the way up to 70,000. What else do we have? Meta's going 2.4%. Meta's having a good day. 2.4%. Do I think Apple's going lower? Like at some arbitrary point in the future, do I think Apple will be lower than right now? Yes, I could say that with very high odds. Sometime between now and the death of the universe, Apple will be trading lower than 170.45. Yep, right there. Just happened. 170.44. My prediction already hit. Already hit. Do I think between now and the end of the universe, do I think Apple will be trading lower at any generic point lower than 170.48? Yes, I do. Oh, right there. 46. Nailed it. That's, dude, I'm an oracle. An absolute oracle. And just crushing it. Crushing it. All right. 5 minute, 10 minutes. Still a little bit suspect over here. The 5 and the 10 on a little bit more evidently bullish on the NASDAQ. So this is the S&P 500 futures market. This is the NASDAQ futures market. Matt, you are a trading god. I appreciate that. That's so kind. Hey, Matt, would you have time to look at ASTS on their chart earnings call today? ASTS? Why does this one sound familiar? Looks like shit. Are you saying you like this as in you're bullish, or you're bearish and you're hoping it dies? This looks horrible. This is a failed SPAC play. Started at 10, ripped, smashed, lower highs, lower lows. This is not a good looking chart, like at all. This is horrible. I've seen worse, but this is a particularly bad one. Long term, like ASTS. You like something about this company long term? Why? It missed on the last 3 earnings. It's bleeding money every single quarter, and every major time frame, a year, year to date, month, 3 months, 6 months, in the red. Maybe it figures it there. I don't see a redeeming thing about this besides the fact that it's already down so much. You might get a reversionary pop, but it has low interest. People don't even like trading it. It's missing on its earnings. It's burning money, and its price action reflects that. I don't know what you're seeing in it that makes you think it's a long-term buy, but I feel like there's better opportunities in the market than this one. It looks very bad, but hey, good luck to you, I suppose. I don't want you to lose money, but I feel strongly that there's better opportunity in the market. I feel very, very strongly about that. All right. I already sent that picture in. Piper hasn't fired off because it's not 10 a.m. yet. And even then, might have had enough bullish momentum, but waiting for something like that to play out. Waiting for something like that to play out. Okay. Matt, if they can pull off putting satellites into space. Yeah, just that super basic, benign, benign task of putting satellites into space for phones. Yeah, I'm sure that's just like, oh yeah, like we're going to do that right after lunch. I've actually heard that about that, of space travel, exploration, and utility being relatively easy. No shit. And I would be a profitable trader if I didn't make any of my losing trades. The woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, no, like if they go to space, dominate space business, I could see them doing well. And I wouldn't hold my breath on that one at all. How about talking about what they currently have and the odds of them being successful? Because I can tell you now, based on the fact that they missed 3 quarters and are bleeding money, their odds of success are very low. I mean, even the industry that they're in, it's a difficult industry. So even the best companies like struggle just to like arbitrarily assume that they're going to be successful. That's a very tough one. That's a very, very tough one. Dixie and the yields are pushing hard. Oh, so bonds are getting hit. Is that why the market's being weird today? Yeah, bonds getting hit hard. So that's a bit more bearish, folks. That's a bit more bearish there, team. You have bonds falling, which means yields are spiking, and you also have the dollar going up. That's bearish. I get that we had a push this morning, and really we're having a push because some tech plays are catching a bid, such as Meta catching a nice bid. You have Amazon that was more green. Microsoft was more green. Don't be surprised if this turns. Please don't be surprised, because the underlying data, I mean, the dollar's pushing, you have bonds falling, you have yields pushing. Obviously, we got those manufacturing numbers, right? Are those the numbers that just came out at 9:45? We got some sort of report that, some of the manufacturing numbers just came in a little bit lower than expected, but then we have more manufacturing numbers coming out at 10 a.m. So be prepped up for that. Be prepped up. That comes out in about 8 minutes, which gives us the perfect time to listen to Anthony Pompliano talking to the CNBC Squawk Box team early this morning about bitty Bitcoin.
Welcome back to Squawk Box. Take a look at Bitcoin prices this morning. We're just hovering under $70,000 right about now. This month expected to bring the next Bitcoin halving, in which the reward for mining cryptocurrencies drops by half. Joining us right now on All Things Crypto, Anthony Pompliano, Pomp Investment founder, of course, and partner. Good morning to you. We were trying to figure out, on one end, it's like a risk-on situation. On the other, it's arguably supposed to be a hedge, and it's very hard for me to get around the idea that it's both, though maybe you have a view that it is. Then there was the halving that's coming, so that's sort of an idiosyncratic one piece of the puzzle, but not something that's like an ongoing piece, so you could argue it is in certain ways. And then you have the ETF, which was also sort of an idiosyncratic moment in time. So put that puzzle together for us.
Yeah, Bitcoin is the most exciting asset in financial markets because of what you just described. It's this highly complex thing that everyone's trying to figure out. And I think for some people, it is a risk-on asset. And for other people, it is a hedge against inflation or a store of value. And so if we just look at
Can it
data,
be both?
Of course, it can be different things to different people. Right now, I think one of the most interesting parts about this is if you go and you talk to someone on Wall Street, why are they buying it? They're buying it because they want the price exposure via the ETFs. But if you go and you talk to someone maybe in a country where they actually are worried about somebody seizing their assets, they're buying Bitcoin because they literally want to make sure that they can hold on to the economic value. And so you have an asset that this is not unique just to Bitcoin in the sense of some assets serve different purposes for different people. I think Bitcoin, because of its global nature, because of the decentralization, and because it was adopted by individuals before the institutions, we're just seeing it kind of exaggerated as we watch the asset become adopted. it. Now, we just hit a really important milestone before the halving. We just had the highest weekly, monthly, and quarterly close for Bitcoin.
Right.
And so the last four times that that's happened, Bitcoin has appreciated at least 300% through the rest of the bull market. Right. Doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but to have that happen before the halving, it's kind of like the demand shock happened. Now we're going to have the supply shock. Right. And so it's hard just to see how the price doesn't continue to go up.
I want to ask you this question, and it goes to the risk on versus the inflation hedge. So I just got back from South Africa, and I literally asked anybody who was around when I was in Zimbabwe, in Zambia. By the way, the rand has done terribly. Of course. Right? It had been inflated away. Horrific situation. And I would ask anybody who was around, very wealthy people, folks who are middle class, folks who are at the bottom of this, and I said, do you own any Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Almost to a T, they said no. That actually was not a thing.
To a T.
And this was, and by the way, this was, I mean, it wasn't a scientific study, but a lot of people I asked about Bitcoin, because I thought that the conversation we have around this table is that somehow the unbanked and everybody who's in these countries that is struggling with inflation is buying Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And they're, at least from what I saw, they're not. And then I went to look at the flows, and it also is true that they're not.
Yeah.
The math does not suggest that the hedge argument on inflation is actually a real one. And I just wonder whether it's sort of used to sort of sprinkle fairy dust to other people who then are speculating. I think there's a lot of people out there that are speculating and want it obviously to go higher, and it's a risk-on asset. That's my take on it at the moment.
Yeah, so I think it depends on what country you go look at, and I'll give you kind of two examples, one that supports yours and one that would contradict it. If you go to somewhere like Nigeria, it's definitely true that people are buying Bitcoin, and I don't know why it's happening in Nigeria, not in South Africa, but we see that. Then if you go somewhere like Argentina, there are some people buying Bitcoin, but there's a lot of people who want dollar-backed stable coins, and they actually want the dollar, not Bitcoin. And so I think country by country, you're going to see different adoption of these technologies. Now, what I will say, though, is you don't have to go to emerging markets to find a reason why people want to buy this, right? If you look at the United States dollar, it's lost 25% of its purchasing power since 2020. Bitcoin is up 800% during that same time period. And so if we go back to 2020, if you remember, Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller, many people came out and said, look, I think it's an inflation hedge. Now, hedges are always this weird thing where people expect you buy it and then inflation explodes the next day. But instead, what we've seen is that Bitcoin is a free market asset that trades forward looking. And so Bitcoin's rise, it's up. We have 7 straight months of Bitcoin in the green up till this past month. And so why is it going up?
And
some of it is the ETFs.
Coming down.
Well, inflation is coming down year over year, but it's actually, but inflation is actually going up month over month.
It's anticipating the next easing cycle. That's what it's anticipating.
So you could argue, one, it is anticipating the next easing cycle. You could also argue the alarm bell is going off, and actually inflation is not coming down month over month. It's going up, and people see that, and they're buying Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin going up is telling us, wait a second, inflation is a bigger problem than we actually thought.
During the hiking cycle, it went from 65,000 down to 17,000.
Correct.
You don't think the majority of people that are buying the ETF today or even buying underlying Bitcoin are doing it because they think the train is leaving the station and they want to be on the train? And that's what this is about.
Why would they have thought the train's leaving the station at 25,000?
Well, I think unfortunately what happens, as you know, is people like to get on the train once the train has practically left the station. That's how this is.
It went to 17,000. Why would people, when it's dropped from 65, when you were looking at it from 7,
right?
You know. And like, why would anyone buy this after?
I think there was a lot of people who were very nervous about it after FTX and the collapse.
That's what I mean. So why? Right. What do you mean they're getting on the train when the train is turned around and gone into the toilet?
No, I'm saying that I think that now they see the ETF, they see it moving back. They think, okay, now
25 to 40, I think, was speculation on the ETF was going to get approved. 40 to 70 is definitely the ETF flows are here. But I think, again, going back to where we started the conversation, is this is a highly complex environment where Bitcoin is serving different purposes to different people, and one that makes it attractive to a lot of folks.
But I guess what I'm saying is it may serve different purposes to different people. But if you told me that 90% of the people were speculating, in my mind, this is my own thesis, I think 80 to 90% of the folks who are buying this thing are buying it because it's a risk on, the train is leaving, or I think the train's leaving, and I want to get in on the action. And that there's another 10 or maybe 20%, maybe, who have this sort of inflation hedge idea that around their own exposure to their own currency.
Look,
but I don't think it's a 50-50 thing. I don't think it's a You see what I'm saying?
Well, what you're calling out is just a societal trend, right? We've become a society of gamblers. If you think about, we have
Hell
zero-day
yeah,
options
brother.
now. We're more than 50% of options trading. We have sports betting, right? We have meme coins trading like 1980s boiler room, penny stocks. This is all happening. And so, again, why is that occurring? The dollar has lost 25% of its purchasing power in 4 years. We have $1.1 trillion of credit card debt. We have 43 million Americans that have federal student debt. The average balance is $37,000. People have lost hope. They do not have hope. How are you supposed to live in a country where it is cheaper to rent than buy a home in 50 major metros? You don't have hope. And so what do?
You think this
gamble.
is a lottery ticket? This is a gamble.
I think that if you go and you buy a lottery ticket, it's 300 million to 1 odds. I think there's people right now saying, you know what, a meme coin has better odds than a lottery ticket. I think there's a lot of people who say
Pick your asset. If you want to pick your asset for the greater fool theory. Is NVIDIA? Trains leaving the station. I got to get on it.
I don't disagree.
Pick your meme stock. Pick your
Initial jolt down.
your commodity, cocoa. Pick whatever you want. I mean, there's no doubt that when there's liquidity everywhere, that it's going to chase assets.
Liquidity everywhere.
But I don't think that because that's one of the reasons it goes higher doesn't undercut the fundamental case for that asset. That you have to on a case by case basis.
That is the fundamental question, and we don't. And only 5, 10, 20 years from now we'll know the answer.
I think there are people that do understand it that don't have that question about the fundamental underlying.
There are people who have certainty. Whether they should or not is a question.
Another key piece is Bitcoin is a decentralized organization that has no marketing team, right? And so price is the marketing of Bitcoin. When the price goes up, speculators come in. Right. But what ends up happening is when we get those drawdowns, some of them stick around and become kind of Bitcoin believers. Some of them do leave.
I mean, Netflix is a great asset. It's either worth
like
$800
people who love Bitcoin
or
and Justin Bieber.
You get the train leaving the station, and it's up to 800. You get the train comes back to the station, it's 180. I mean, it's an asset that people watch. Subscribers come in, they have new hit shows, they do all that. There's no questioning the underlying asset value.
Are picking up again.
But on any given day, greater fool theories or momentum or euphoria.
If you own a company, you own a percentage of that company, you own a percentage of the revenue, you own a percentage of the earnings that come through. I mean, that's the argument. If it's a company that pays dividends, you get a percentage of that.
You got to do Graham and Dodd. You got to go way down the line.
Graham and Dodd is productive asset.
You got to go way down the line to where you hope. I mean, with a stock that doesn't pay a dividend, you can't say that.
No, but with a stock that has earnings, with a company that has earnings, you get a portion of the. That's the difference between a productive.
From the dividend, if you get the dividend, you don't. It doesn't flow through until.
You still say this is a productive asset.
But you're hoping the dividends
But couldn't you say all of that about the dollar?
If you don't pay a dividend, you still have a percentage of the earnings of that company, and you figure that will make your stock more valuable over time because of the earnings that the company's kicking off.
That's the concept. That's at least the conceit.
It is. But to go and see something trading at 200 times revenue.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
They're going to continue this debate during the commercial.
It's not profitable. That's
trading at 200 times revenue has to do with
and it has no profits.
Very awkward. Very, very, very awkward. What do they teach in school nowadays?
Let's say you got 2 brothers, right? You got brothers?
I got 1.
You got 1? Mm-hmm. Let's say you got 2. Let's say you got 2 brothers.
Okay.
Older brother's 2 years old. Younger brother's half his age. When the older brother turns 100, how old the younger brother gonna be?
99.
Older brother is 2 years old.
Yeah. Younger brother is half his age.
So he just won.
When the
so
older brother
year
turns
younger.
100, how old the younger brother gonna be?
99. 99.
50.
The older brother.
Hypothetically, that would be possible if the younger brother was also a space traveler. And if he was traveling at any considerable portion of the speed of light, he would age differently. That would just be a little asterisk next to the question here. Assuming that he's moving at the same speed on average throughout his life, as in like neither of them are moving at a considerable speed of light, then it would just be 100 versus 99. But he didn't really explain that part.
Is 2 years old. The younger brother is half his age.
Okay.
When the older brother turns 100, how old the younger brother gonna be?
50, because he's 100 and then half his age.
Please! No!
Let's say you got 2 brothers, right? You got brothers?
I like it. I dig it. I'm on their side. I'm on their team. I'll have what they're having. He's towering over her. Culturally biased question. What? Casey, explain that one to the rest of the group. Culturally biased. How is that? Isn't that math? Do you think the linear passage of time is culturally biased? Are you saying that time is racist? Because I'm on your side. I just need to get a couple more talking points and then I'm on your side. Like, just help me get just like a couple things because I'm liking this. I'm liking the way we could go that time is racist. Okay. Well, I've gotten so broke as just give me a couple, like, I'll sign up on your team. I'm liking where we're going with this. I just don't really even know how to somewhat defend it. So if you guys can give me a couple speaking points on it, I'm game. I'm down. I'm game. I'm down and I am both down and game. Ooh, brother. Well, today we are getting some choppy weird stuff. And I think my like weird degen trade at open might be like the saving grace in my account today. Nope, scratch that. It went completely the opposite. It was looking good for a second. But now I don't know what I'm doing. Now I don't know what I'm doing and I'm scared. Simultaneously. It was looking good for a second. But now maybe I shouldn't have checked it. Maybe out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay, where are we at? Meta is going flat. Bitcoin did pop to just above 70,000, got smacked. The SPY was going with the Qs. The Qs have been the strongest today. The Qs are up 0.57%. Actually, gold's up 0.8%. But anyway, even on this hit from the report that we just got, the SPY took a bit of a bigger hit, kind of a fake out breakdown, while the Qs just slowly came down. So very strange today. Obviously, the strongest sector clearly has to be tech, which you can check the tech sector of the S&P 500 with the ticker XLK. But let's look at what else is going on. So XLE vomited, coming back. XLF vomited, maybe coming back. XLU, just utilities straight up vomiting. Industrials, not looking so good. Healthcare, not looking so good, but now flat. So a very, very like mixed situation right now. A very mixed situation between all the major sectors. Here's a look at tech. Here's a look at financials. Here's a look at energy. Here's a look at utilities. Here's a look at industrials. And here's a look at healthcare. Mixed bag across. It's tough right now. I would feel much more confident if we were all kind of generically trending in one direction, or maybe if there was like one outlier. But based on this, there just isn't. There just straight up isn't. Even on this, like, look at this. The 5-minute and the 10-minute and the 30-minute on the S&P 500, bearish, actually breaking down on the 30. But then if you look at the tech sector, switching bullish, the 10 minutes about to switch bullish, and the 30 minutes saved itself from breaking down. So it's a mixed up, messy day. Just calm, cool, collected, a weird day. Could be because of the reports, could be because of the PCE report and the market's now reacting to it. Could just be the fact that it's a new quarter and we have rebalancing going on. It could be because gold's ripping. It could be because bonds are getting hit. It could be because yields are going up. There's various things going on right now. So I would say just calm, cool, collected. Wait for the trade to come to you. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to do anything crazy or degenerate or anything like that. You can wait for what you want your trade to be. NVIDIA. Is this other trade? Is my degenerate? And now it's already decaying quickly. All right. I did an iron butterfly this morning because I did a lot of research on iron butterflies over the weekend. So I I have this concept of how I want to trade it. So I'm trying to just get some trades out onto the market to start collecting data to see if my thought is good for like reality and trading. So I threw out an iron butterfly trade. If you're in the Discord, you already have access to it. Oh, and here, is it pinned? It is not pinned. Apex is pinned right now. I'm going to take that down. It's in the description of the video, or you can click on Apex. You have 1 day and like 5 hours until the Apex deal changes to something else. So if you want to get in on the current deal, check out the description. But anyway, join up with the Discord. The first month completely free. Just make sure you have the code Goonie actually applied when you're checking out. Follow the link pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Here's how it works. You get in, you apply Goonie, your first month is free, and then it's going to bring you to the actual, this is what it will look like. And then all you have to do is click on this giant Discord button right here, or just come to the right here, the link to the Discord. So you could either go to the second pinned message, or you could find the giant Goonie button and just click on that. Both of those will bring you to the Discord, and then you just have to sync your locals account and your Discord account. Just sync them and you'll be good to go. Obviously, if you have any issues, reach out to me. But the pitch is this. Hey, the first month is free. After that, it's $50 a month. And then you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? My trades alone made 2.2 thousand last week. As in last week, in one trading week, I made 4 years plus of the service. And then even if you took the minimum sizing of Piper, you would have made the next month. So in 1 week of trading that you could have gotten for free, you'd have actually already paid for the whole next month. And the way I do this is I post all my stuff in real time. I mean, you can ask the people in the Discord right now. I already posted my trade. I don't know if it's going to hit. I don't know if it's not going to hit. I posted my trade as soon as I did it. Ask them. I just put my money where my mouth is, which is why when it's successful, I love to brag about it, but also I don't hide the losses. I explain all my losses and I try to tell you, okay, what did I learn from it? How can I recover from it? Yada, yada, yada. You get the point, but it's none of this Monday morning quarterbacking. I believe that the world of retail trading is always taught incorrectly. People love to Monday morning quarterback. They look at a chart that's already complete, as in they knew where it was going to go, and they're like, oh, this is what I would have done. And then magically, they always pick the right thing. And it doesn't make sense. There is a time and place to review old charts, but it's very, very different to do it in real time. Very, very, very different to do it in real time. So because of that, I like to let you guys know what I'm actually legitimately doing in real time, because I think there's a big aspect of trading of, okay, how do you do the management when things go against you? How do you do the management when it goes in your favor? How do you do your sizing? There's so many other things that are just simply not captured when people do like Monday morning quarterbacking chart reviews. And I absolutely hate it, which is why I put it in there. And check it out. And that's exactly why the first month is free, because I don't want anyone to feel like they got. I want you to be in there for the month and be like, okay, at the end of the month, is it for you? Great, cool, stick around. A lot of people are sticking around. And if it's not for you, okay, no harm, no foul. You can just cancel the membership and you're good to go and you'll never get charged. So that's the pitch. I hope it makes sense. And if it doesn't, I'll probably not be able to improve it. So it is what it is. And actually, I was trying to get out of this butterfly, an iron butterfly. This ain't no normal butterfly. This ain't your mom or your dad's butterfly. This is an iron butterfly. It's like Iron Man, but slightly different. Iron Man, but slightly different. Slightly different. You know what? Since we're here, I'll give you a little bit of a taste. So I already have a full breakdown. You guys cannot see this, can you? You guys cannot see this. You guys, how can I make it so you guys can see this? Can you see this? Can you guys see paint right now on the screen? Yes, no, maybe so. Perhaps, perchance. Okay, so this is make money, lose money. Okay. Break even. So just because I'm talking about iron butterflies and whatnot. So in iron butterfly, it's going to end up being straddled around the same point, as in you're selling a call and a put. So because you're selling a call and a put at the same strike, at the same price, an iron butterfly is like a safety mechanism built on top of a straddle. And you could also get into the world of strangles, and the major difference there is, are you selling the same call and put as in the strike, or are you selling different calls and puts? If you're selling different calls and puts and then doing this, it's going to be a strangle. And then if you're doing a straddle, it's at the same one. You're selling the same call strike, you're selling the same put strike. So what you end up having is, let's say you have this stock right here and it's at 100. You would sell the same call and the put. You would sell the 100 call, you would sell the 100 put, and you collect the premium for both. So that if it concludes at 100, that's your max profit. And then obviously as you go away from it, you're going to end up, you're going to go from making money to losing money depending on how far away it is, as in you don't want it to go that far away. So this right here, if it just kept going into whatever your max loss would be, which is, remember, so you sold these, so you received the credit, that leftover, whatever it is, like hypothetically could get really bad. That's why most of the time, most brokerages, unless you're a really, really big player, they don't actually let you do this. They force you to do an iron butterfly, because when you do an iron butterfly at a certain price, let's just call this 90. Let's call this 110. It ends up just, so you would sell the call and the put, and then you'd be long a 90 put, you'd be long a 110 call. So you would buy this call, you would buy this put, but then also simultaneously. So this involves 4 different things. You're buying a call, buying a put, you're selling a call, you're selling a put. Simultaneously, an iron butterfly requires 4 different things. So you're buying a put, buying a call, and then you're selling a put and selling a call. So 4 different things. So you would sell the put, sell the call at 100, collect all that premium. This is a net credit play. And then you're looking for basically theta to favor you. You're looking for the death of volatility to favor you. And just in terms of protection, these outlier ones, the buying of the put and the buying of the call, that's all for protection. So basically, if it gets too extreme, instead of you having a naked sold call or a naked sold put, which most brokerages aren't going to allow you to do, you get this protective laid, aka wings. That's why it gets its like butterfly name. So this is what I played this morning. And what I'm looking to do is really wait for the premium that was sold to just decay a certain percentage and taking it. I'm not letting this run all the way to close. But anyway, this is an iron butterfly. This is what the profit graph looks like. You're selling calls, selling puts, and if it's within these bounds, that's how you make your money. Obviously, the closer you are to the strike, you can make more money. That would be 100% if it dies right there. And then you just need some protective stuff on the end so you just don't have a naked position on. But anyway, this is referred to as an iron butterfly. We have a full intense breakdown of it, of what it is, how to place it. We talk about strangle straddles, iron butterflies. It gets into the world of more advanced options. But once again, just a little bit of flavoring of the type of stuff that you can expect in the Discord and the weekly lectures and all that good jazz. Do I want to save this? No. Speaking of that, the iron butterfly that I threw up is currently up 15% on the day. I kind of like, do I want to push 20% on this? I'm not trying to get too crazy with it. What time is it? It is 10:20 right now. It's 10:20 right now. It is 10:20. Oh, brother. So if it keeps falling here, that's actually going to devalue it. Probably should have taken it. If it's a big vomit, I could be screwed. How screwed, though? Not that screwed. 30. And we're trading at 52. Now I'm probably back to break even. We'll see. We just hit the close from yesterday. Thursday. Last trading day. When I say yesterday, in my mind, the trading weekends are just random trading weekends. What was I doing? I was trying to put on my trade. Interesting. Vertical auto 10. How do I want to do this? How are we feeling about this market? Is this just going to bounce from here? How are we feeling about this one today? How are we feeling about this one today? A little bit suspect, to be honest. Feeling a little bit suspect, if I'm going to be 100% with all of you. To the point that I guess I'll put out a yellow order. If I get the fill, I get the fill. What is happening? Let's check in on the options market. Is the options market just vomiting right now? What is happening? We have a hedge wall here at 5245. So there was a flow alert early this morning. Vomited from there. Another flow alert. Try to pop. So options are coming in right now to try to buy this. Like in real time, you can see the delta notional just popping from 1019 till now. So what do we actually have? Are they buying calls or getting out of puts? A little bit of both. So a little bit of call purchasing on the top right here. People are thinking, okay, like maybe we just bounce at this support level. And then some puts are taking their profit, but we'll see. We'll see. And then my trade actually got filled, my true trade of the day, which I will now put into, here, I'll put this into, oops, that is a bad picture. All right, throwing mine in. And I believe not quite yet. Piper hasn't fired explicitly. All right, waiting. What is today? April. Yeah, it's April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. Everyone's going to have the same jokes of how they're quitting content. Don't fall for those, folks. Don't be the person falling for that. Don't be the person falling for that. All right, what are we looking at? All right, if you are in the Discord, I just posted Piper. If you are in the Discord, Piper's loaded up. So we traded Apex. The 2 accounts didn't pass, lost 3, the other 15 good. So Apex is done on the day. The Apex deal is ending tomorrow. So if any of you are trying to get in on that 80% off the 1-day pass, I recommend you check out Apex today. I posted my trades. Piper fired off. I did my main trade. I'm doing a test run with some of this iron butterfly stuff, which hopefully that goes well. And then what else do I need to look at? Nvidia's green, Meta's green. Mixed bag today. Be careful today. So we got that closed gap fill on the SPY. Did we have a real gap on the SPY today or no? No, we didn't. We did not. It'll be actually interesting. If the SPY breaks down below 522.78, that could get interesting. Actually get really interesting. Okay. Yes, we had a long weekend, which I believe means that you cool cats and kittens sent in quite a bit of stuff. Quite a bit of stuff. Let me see where these reacts are. Reacts. Yes, you did. I appreciate that. All right, did that stuff. Do. What is this one? A true degenerate. Ooh, I'm already liking it.
Gentleman has done. Going once, last chance for glory. Going twice, go big or go home. Going 3 times, last chance saloon. Ladies and gentlemen, at 3,200,000. Going. Stop!
What did he buy?
Can we see a final number just to confirm the number?
Oh, a phone number? He bought the phone number for $3.2 million? Dude, that's crazy. All right, what do we have here?
Am I crazy to think that this is literally so expensive? This is a veggie platter for $45. And then this is fruit for $40. Ew. That's insane.
Yes, it is expensive.
This is my hand next to it.
America is being ruined by inflation, without a doubt. The world is being ruined by inflation. College degrees mean nothing nowadays. Well, because a lot of them are participation degrees. They're not real rigorous degrees. They're just, hey, like, what do you like? Oh, great. We'll take your money for 4 years and give you a degree in it. It's just not useful to society.
Okay, can we just talk about the fact that like college degrees mean like nothing nowadays? I was talking to my best friend over spring break and how we're literally terrified to go into the real world because people with like all these degrees and qualifications can't even find a job that pays them
Once
enough.
again,
Here,
get the right degree.
What am I supposed to do?
Not all degrees are created the
build
same.
up my resume and tell me why I'm better off working at McDonald's as a server, getting paid $16 an hour, than doing an internship that is for like my degree, like a college degree. Like that is so wild to me that you have to spend all this money to get a degree, to get a high-paying job, but you don't even need the degree at this point. But you don't even pay people who have the degree a reasonable amount when they could just work a job that doesn't even require higher education, more money.
Yes.
And then people wonder why people don't want to work now. People don't want to go to college. People have this stigma of
You
like, why aren't you
shouldn't
going to
want to
college?
go
Well,
to
at
college.
this point, it doesn't even pay.
Certain degrees, it's worth
I'm
it,
going to be
but not
graduating
most
with
of
all
them.
this debt. You can't tell me we were placed on this earth to go sit in a cubicle from 9 to 5 and barely see the sunlight and then come home to the screaming and crying kids. No, that does not sound like fun to me.
Hell yeah, sister. What's wrong with people? $3,000 a month in car payments. These people pay mortgage for 2 cars. I just don't understand.
Do y'all want to know what is worse than my Tahoe payment? You guys thought that was bad. Wait till you hear this one. It's my husband's truck. My husband drives a 2020 GMC AT4.
I don't know why, but she 100% has the vibe of a person who would be paying way too much on her husband's monthly truck payment. Like if there were a caricature of a person in all of our minds and I said, hey, envision a family of people paying way too much money on their Tahoe and truck monthly payments, this is what we would have come up with. Like 100%. Without even being able to really properly explain it, we all would have been like, yep, no, that's the person.
Sierra 1500.
Just the vibe.
We bought it in August of 2022. Financed it for $78,000. He still has a remaining balance of, I think it's $72,000 or $74,000. I haven't really checked recently. His payments are $1,600 a
That's
month.
so irresponsible.
So y'all thought my $1,400 Tahoe payment was bad. His truck payment is $1,600 a month with an APR of 14%.
Is she bragging about this?
So yeah.
I'm
y'all
so
stop coming
confused
after
on the
me for
tone
my
of this
bad
video.
finance decisions and go after him because he fucked up too. Too bad he didn't buy his truck for him. I did. So yeah, I messed them both up. Oops. So maybe we should just let his truck get repossessed and keep the Tahoe because a $1,400 Tahoe payment is a whole lot better than a $1,600 truck payment. Or maybe we should just let them both go back because we have the Audi now and don't need either of the.
She has to be trolling us. No, dude. No. I'm not gonna get angry. She's trolling us. It's not real. I'm not falling for it. She's screwing with the internet. Hats off to her. I'm not engaging. Bro sent him down a rabbit hole he not ready for.
How much did you pay for your first house?
$18,000 with 17 acres.
What year?
1989. When I was a kid, cars were thousands of dollars. A brand new car, like, I don't know, $5,000. I remember seeing ads. Houses were probably, what, 10, 20,000 when I was a kid. A dollar used to actually be worth something. But what happened? You know what happened in 1913? Federal Reserve.
Hell yeah,
Tell
brother.
Me a dollar bill. Federal Reserve.
This guy knows what he's talking about.
Okay? Who's the Federal Reserve? This is their money. Right? Who are they? Are they feds? Are they part of the government?
Nope.
Are they a private organization? Are
Yep.
they run by banksters out of Europe? Look back in 1913. See what happened.
I'm gonna look into it. We got to save.
Look at the money. Look up Federal Reserve. It's on your dollar bill. What does it mean? Who is it? Who started it? Are they?
Dude, this guy's spitting facts. I like it.
Or are they something else?
How much did you pay?
I like it. I like that guy. He knows what he's talking about. Too many words. I'm not the biggest reader.
Toronto has put on the table a tax on rain and snow. So the government of Toronto, the city of Toronto, the council, whatever, they want to start charging homes and corporations for when there's excess water caused by rain and snow on their properties that then has to run through our city pipes and run through our streets. So what they're claiming is that there's obviously, damage that happens, and then there's the cost of, I guess, the water going through all the pipes. But effectively, they want to start charging everybody for this. And I actually this city never ceases to amaze me. This country never ceases to amaze me with all of these crazy taxes that they keep coming up with. Toronto has put on the table.
Is this real? The rain tax. People in Toronto could end up paying for the rain that falls on their property. Seriously, they want to tax the rain because people in Toronto aren't already struggling enough to make ends meet. Olivia Chow wants to implement a rain tax. Dude, I'd be out there with like an umbrella, be like, it didn't touch my property. It's snowing. I'm just going to put like a giant greenhouse over my property. Like, didn't touch my shit. That's crazy. How do Torontonians, that's pretty funny. Torontonians. Homebuyers and businesses are currently charged based on how much water they use. That makes sense. The rate is $4.51 plus a fraction of a cent per cubic meter for the first 5,000 cubic meters, called the domestic rate, and $3.16 after that, the industrial rate. Okay. So it's literally, if it rains, it's off your property. So if it doesn't rain at all, does it scale? The city is suggesting stormwater credit for properties that have rain gardens, permeable pavement, and other so-called green infrastructure. How only large properties of greater than 1 hectare would be eligible to apply. That's crazy. Canada's falling apart, man. Where are we going to get our maple syrup? Growing up in the 90s, average cost of living. Yearly income, all right? Minimum wage, $5.15. Cost for a house, $120,000. Gas, cheap AF. New car, $15K. We could do it. Bus fare, 50 cents. That's a steal. Big Mac. Large, dude. For a slice now could be $8. Dozen eggs, $1.25. Gallon of milk, $2. Can of Coke, 50 cents. Cooler cans as well. Men's haircut, $5. And you could look like the pirate. Women's haircut, $15. Those big ass TVs. Movie ticket, $4. Radio, $20. No one buys radios now though. college tuition, $4K a year. That one stings. That one really stings. That, I think the college one is the one that kind of messed me up. $4K a year. What is this one? Is she crying? Viral. Man dresses up as Julius Caesar to troll a school board.
I am Caesar. Julius Caesar of Rome, the emperor. I am also a female. Does anybody here believe that? That I am Julius Caesar? Anybody believe that?
I do.
No? Of course not. It's ridiculous. I'm not Caesar. I'm not a woman either.
I didn't see that
I'm
coming.
here as a father who loves his children, who loves his country.
So is this Julius Caesar or not? Someone needs to tell me. I'm confused. I feel like I've been hoodwinked. I feel like I've been bamboozled. Either he is or he isn't. Well, he said he's a she too. Either she is Julius Caesar or she isn't Julius Caesar. And someone needs to tell me. No more secrets.
And I'm here to talk about this duty of a school board and the Department of Education. Your duty is to act in the best interest of children. It is to teach truth, not lies, facts, not fiction, biology, not a social agenda. As taxpayers, we deserve to have our children taught what we pay for, and it's not anyone's social agenda, whether it be right or left. It's about the children. It's about the children. And that's what we all love. And these children that are born into our custody, we have a duty to protect them. And we have a duty to nurture them to their own self-actualization when they can declare whatever sexuality they want to be. And we will love them.
Is this like a...
No matter
yeah, it
what
said it's a school board meeting, right?
Doesn't matter. But engaging and facilitating gender confusion, gender dysphoria, is developmentally injurious to the mental and emotional capacities of children.
Hell yeah.
Especially
big words.
Elementary school.
That's a SAT word right there, injurious.
So I'm here to call for the suspension of Murphy and the suspension of Principal Gallo for facilitating gender confusion and gender dysphoria in the Christoph McAuliffe Elementary School. I'd also like you to
Elementary
resign your
school?
seat for facilitating it as well. And I want you all to know you're all going to be famous. Now, with respect to the audience, I
That's
love
a
that
sick
love.
costume.
I give that love back. You know what I love? I love my children. I love my country. I love life, liberty, and happiness for all. That's what I love, okay? And if we can't get on board with that, we ain't going to have a country. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Guglielmo, for your comments.
And
Do you think Julius Caesar actually had a GoPro on his chest? Because if he did, I think we could have a really informative vantage point of what happened at the end there for him. Like, you know, like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? And then all the people came in with the knives and stuff. Like, I think we would just have an interesting take on really how things ended for him if he actually had a GoPro. Just food for thought. Food for thought. Old man with Trump derangement syndrome.
Well, once again, the orange Jesus gets a break. We just can't stop giving him a break every fucking turn in the road.
Angry.
Just think about this. The court just lowered his required bond today to $175 million, which is roughly $300 million less than what he owes the state of New York, the people that live in the state of New York. When is this fucking shit ever going to end? We have catered to this asshole every step of the way. And all he wants to do is overthrow the government, become a dictator. I mean, I don't get it. I swear to God, I don't get it. I don't know. The courts are collapsing around us, starting with the Supreme Court. The last day, the day he's due to deliver, they say, nah, that's okay. You don't have to come up with the full amount. Come up with a third. We're good. What the fuck? I can't. You know what? We've really lost our way. We really have.
This guy's a
Every
vibe for
single
sure.
time this guy has been cutting a break. For what reason? Who Does he own? Did the Republicans own everybody? This is sickening. This is pure fucking sickening.
It's a vibe, but also, what labyrinth of a hallway was he walking in? Folks, that was 90 seconds. Like, let's follow this path. Like, he's just... This hallway is the longest hallway in America, man. It just keeps going. He's taking some turns here, turns. How did he not get lost in this hallway? Crazy. Also, on more of a, I guess, life thing, it's interesting to me of how simultaneously we have two groups who feel the exact same except the opposite side. From a psychology standpoint, to not agree on reality like that, it is fascinating. And I'm not saying you should support Trump or you should support Biden. All I beg of you is to do your own research and vote with actually informed decisions. That's all I care. I don't care who you vote for. I just ask you to vote and ask you to get informed about who you're voting for. But does no one else find it that interesting that you can have two groups saying the exact same thing and they feel the exact same way? Like, in their mind, it is built up that the other person is effectively the Antichrist. Like, if you ask them, they're like, that person is attempting to burn down our country. Like a literal embodiment of evil. We have people on both sides saying that about the other side. I don't know. I find it fascinating, truly, truly fascinating that we can live in a world where we all have access to the same information, and yet we come to the same conclusion on the polar opposite person. Like, that's crazy, right? I don't know. Keeps me up at night, among other things. Other times I'm just crying. He published a BMX on Marketplace, but realized they didn't want to buy it. What?
Bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of bike is
Yeah, it's this one.
I see.
Are they going to try to steal it?
Is this the same bike?
Sorry?
Is this the same bike?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where'd you get this?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yep. Yep. Hey, what is the bike?
Did I see?
No. What the hell?
Are they going to try to steal his bike? What?
Les dije. Vámonos. Bike? Yeah.
What kind of bike is
Well, I'm glad that he was faster. That's a crazy thing to happen. Good thing he had the old GoPro. The old GoPro. He and Julius Caesar protecting themselves, you know? You know. Our Bitcoin taking a bit more of a hit. 70,000 down to 69. Meta flat, coming down a little bit right now. Apple not looking the best. Rum not having a good day. DJT not having a good day. Meta coming down. Amazon not looking the best. Nvidia completely flat. Meta now coming down. Solana coming down. Bitcoin coming down. Gold coming down. Q's coming down. Dude, should we just end the show at this point? What is AMC's taking a major dookie? Yeah, new all-time low. Should we make people mad about it? Not just a 52-week low, a new all-time low. Should we AMC just clocked a new all-time low. Dilution is good. Fucking dumbasses. That'll stir the pot. That'll get some people going, getting real angry. My first car as a teenager, believe it or not, was a 67 Mustang. It was very heavy. True digital independence. If you're a cloud provider, dude, I want a Mustang. I want a 67. What? Oh, okay. Inverse Kramer. Jim calls it quits to spend more time with family. Thanks for all the laughs. Been hell of a run, Jim. Jim Kramer retires after 19 years at CNBC. Folks, it's April Fool's Day. Please don't forget. It is April Fool's Day. Pretty much everything you see on the internet today is not gonna be real. Hassan just signed with Kick. Oh. Oh. I wonder how big his deal was. Dude, cats are something. Cats are something else, you know? Not that any of you asked, but my cat has recently been deciding that I need to be nothing but wide awake from 2 to 4 in the morning. I don't know why. I don't get it whatsoever. Treasury 5 to 30-year yields rise at least 10 bips on the day. Treasury. Let's see what the upcoming auctions are. So today we have the 13-week, the 26-week. A little bit later this week, we had the 17 and the 4 and the 8. Tomorrow we also have the 42-day. But the big ones, the 3-year and the 10-year, are the 9th and the 10th. So that's going to be coming in next week, mid next week, the 9th and the 10th. So no major time frame ones, just these shorter time frame ones. Yeah, bonds are getting destroyed. Bonds are not having a fun run right now. Let's see if it can actually hold 92. I bet yields have to be ripping right now. Yeah, yields are popping hard. The dollar's popping hard. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Can we watch cat videos for the rest of the stream? I'm more than happy to spend endless hours watching cat videos. That's up to you guys. But like if I was given the opportunity that I could make a content career out of just like watching and reacting to cat videos, I 100% would do that. I'm like all right with the market. Like I think the market's cool sometimes. I have a love-hate relationship with the market. If I'm making money, I like it. If I'm not making money, I don't like it. But if you're talking about cats, I always love watching cat videos. 100% of the time, I would watch a cat video. Rum is sitting on support. If it breaks down here, it's not looking good. I mean, it depends your time frame. Different time frames have different levels of support, and obviously different ones are like more valuable. What do I think about CBNY? I know nothing about it. Economy down, cat stonks go up. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Where did I sell that position? Hang on, what do we have? We have a couple more in here. If height matters, then weight matters. Oh, here we go.
Does height matter?
It definitely does.
It does? You said height matters.
It does.
All right, and weight matters, so step on the scale.
Weight matters, but if you're not strong enough to carry me, then bye-bye.
All right, then let's see.
No, I don't want to do that. That's scary as fuck.
Why? You're judging guys based on height, so I'm judging you based on weight. Does height matter?
Pissed. Gets pissed. Angry. Oregon. Stolen from Walmart. 1,300. What is that?
Thank you.
Is that baby food? Formula?
Okay.
I think you're gonna need more cart.
Jesus. Stole 7K in 20 minutes? That's nuts. I watched this 10 times until I have no idea how it works. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Monsieur. What? Someone else? What?
It doesn't look real. It looks...
Okay. Yeah. Monsieur. What? Someone else? What?
It's too early in the morning for this, for the devil's work. Oh, we watched that one. The devil's work. SPY, lower highs, lower lows. Q's had a strong opening. Lower highs, lower lows. Now, ES, bearish, bearish, bearish. NQ, bearish, bearish, bearish. flat on the daily. So in the shorter time frame stuff, I don't really see it. There was an argument maybe on this dip at 10:05 to be bullish on the Qs. There was never an argument to be bullish on the SPY today, and now it's playing out that way. We're actually breaking down from the low on Thursday on a daily chart setup. That's no bueno for the bull camp. It is very bueno for the bear camp. Obviously, on a daily chart, we now have a lower high and a lower low. So maybe we come back down to the top of the cloud around 520. We're trading at 522.45. I'm not even necessarily saying today. I'm just saying in a general sense. The Qs, big wick. Depending on who you ask and what mood they're in when you ask them. Some people will point this out as what's it called? Like a shooting star reversal. I don't know. A lot of these candle chart names have like stupid names. Basically, think about this logically. Don't worry about the name or this or that. Just think about what this means of when you have that type of bar creation. With it, whatever time frame you're on, we happen to be in the daily, and I'm particularly focusing on this. Don't worry about the name or anything like that. That they're silly, they're stupid. Just think about what this means. It means we open, and at some point within that bar, and this one is the daily bar, we have a big push. And then the fact that it's a big wick means that the market didn't accept it. As in, okay, there was aggression, but whatever the aggression was, it was a flash in the can. It was short-lived. And then that's why it's reverted. And then that's why you can see the wick. So a push doesn't hold. So the market's rejecting that new level. And to this side, it happens to be the upside. So if the upside's being rejected, inherently that's then in whatever time frame you're on, favoring the other side. If you kind of think through it. So don't worry about the names or anything. Just think about what that actually means. It means someone bought it up. The market said, no way, honey. And it goes all the way back down, creating the big wick. And then that's why it's thought to be a reversal. But they're coming up with it of it calling it a reversal because think about what that logically means for that to even be created. So obviously there's still a lot of time left in the day. So anything could change. It could go all the way back up. This could be a giant green bar for all I know, or it could get horrifically bad. Obviously, time will tell. Time will tell. Where are we at? Meta's holding green, NVIDIA. All right. We didn't check. People are still buying calls. Or is it just not? Let me reload this quick. I might have been lagging on some data. I don't think this dip is going to last for too long. I get that we're still dipping, but look at the options market. The options market's coming back. So I get price action looks bad, but the option, literally as I say it, the options just dipped out of nowhere. People buy, someone's buying puts with vengeance right now in real time. How cool is that we could see this? Someone is aggressively buying puts, these two bottom lines. That's interesting. Interesting. Oh, what did I do? I think I really messed something up. I don't think I did what I was supposed to do on mine. I think I legitimately already messed up. Can we ban Matt from his own chat? I don't know. We could try. We can always try. How did I mess that up? I messed up something related to my iron butterfly. Maybe I did it. I don't know. This is only the second or third time I've tried to systematically trade an iron butterfly. I've done it before to learn about them and how to structure them, blah, blah, blah. But in terms of a trading methodology built around it, this is only the second or third time. I wouldn't mind if there's a bit of a pop by any means. By any means whatsoever. You are currently offline. Please check your internet connection. Am I offline? Team? Teamity team? Hello? Mom? I'm full porting AMC. April Fools. Once again, it's an April Fools type of day. Is this April Fool's too? Trump is now worth over $5 billion, but he's showing the Dow Jones transport average. Everyone's just kind of being an asshole on the internet today with the April Fools. Camouflage art. Dude, some of these camouflage videos are just crazy. Wait a second. I thought there was a couple other things that I found over the weekend that I wanted to react to. Oh, this was a crazy one. Did you guys see this? If you ask me, I think it's a little bit funny of how wildly insane our regulators are with what you can and can't do with the money. But then when it comes to casinos, they allow you to do this. You got to check it out. Right here, slot machine, hooking up an ACH transfer, 20 grand. Just like that. Just sitting there at the slot machine. And then yet they're like, oh, we're trying to protect you when it comes to the world of the market of, oh, only 3 pattern day trades. You can't do this. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. But then if you're just sitting at a casino, they're like, oh, you want 20 grand? Yeah. That's cool. How does that make sense? Someone needs to explain it to me of how, like, one of them, they're trying to protect you, and the other one, they're still trying to, it doesn't make sense to me. And it'll never make sense to me. All right, we saw that one. All right, that was the other thing that I wanted to show you guys. 20 grand. Just hey, 20 grand. Go for it. He's betting 750 a spin. Dude, he's swinging for the fences. Well, the Q's just hit a new intraday low. The spot. So that initial trade that I had on Apex, those accounts would have actually all been good right now. Every single one would have been good and it was so close to holding on. It got busted at 447, went about another 50 cents. So I got knocked out. But if it held to all the way right now, literally all of those Apex accounts would have been bueno. Would have been bueno. It happens. It happens. It unfortunately happens to me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, what else? Is there other breaking news that we should get into? Any other breaking news? The market slowly but surely coming down off of that all-time high. Nothing too crazy yet. Financial markets just delivered a powerful reminder. Trump media lost $58 million on $4 million in sales last year. Baltimore ship accident has East Coast ports scrambling to absorb cargo. NFL's Kelsey Mahomes urged Kansas City to seal $2 billion subsidy. They literally just wanted their names in the title and has nothing to do with them. That's what's some of the messed up things about media. Is there anything? Oh, I forgot that I tweeted something out. Or do we have any funny responses? First, 35 cents. Love losing all money. To the moon. Go F yourself. What a scam, this man. Wait, me? As if I did it? Dilution makes the stock go up. Derpity derp. Reverend Good Dilution blessing the baggies. When I told everyone to buy, I've never told anyone to buy a squat. Dude, they get so mad. So mad. TSA canine handler relieved of duties after viral video shows aggressive behavior toward the dog. I don't want to watch it. When people are mean to pets, it makes me irrationally angry. So I don't want to watch it, but I'm sure the guy's the asshole and I'd be on the dog side. I'm pretty much just always on the animal side, no matter what's going down. Like, it's really, really hard for me to side with a human over an animal. I actually probably just won't. Arbitrarily, I'm going to be on the animal side. It's just the way of life. Oh, that's a good one. Google, I guess, is breaking out. Dude, have you guys seen how tall Barron Trump is? Apparently he's 6'7", 6'8". This guy's a giant. And he's Slovenian. All the memes and jokes and TikToks about him are just get a basketball in his hand. The guy's a giant. Are we seeing anything else? Not really. Just a bunch of subpar April Fool's Day jokes. Cat with keyboard, $1.7 million market cap. Has to go higher. I've never seen a superior financial asset. Everything kind of went down and then seems to be attempting to stop the hemorrhaging ever since 10:35. We're seeing a bit of a pivot in the old options market right here. Options has actually been getting in on this dip. So I wouldn't be betting against it because we have the hedge wall at 5245 and we have the delta notional picking up. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if we start to bounce. Just throwing it out there. I know it's crazy. I know how it looks. But I'm just saying, based on this underlying data, it's actually looking like somewhat all right. Like, of course, anything can change on it any given moment. I don't know what the big players are about to do. Let me check some of the market internals here. Bearish, neutral. So bearish, leaning, neutral. But I guess my point is some of the related data to the market doesn't look as bad as this price action does. I know the price action looks particularly bad, but options are doing all right. The market internals are like a mixed bag, either neutral or bearish. None of them are bullish. Looking at some of the cumulative stuff, bearish. Yeah, the EMA, the pure price action's looking pretty bad. But some of those related things, I guess. Oh, sign up for the Discord. It's free for the first month if you want to trade with me. Pinned to the top of chat. Apex, the deal's ending in a day and 6 hours. So if you want to do that with Apex, check it out. Options are picking up. Interesting. What is this guy talking about? Iger. Everyone's talking about Disney. I just get so bored with all the Disney talk. I get so bored. I'm not seeing anything else here. I guess it's a quiet day thus far. Don't be a fool. Buy Bitcoin. All right, if you say so. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Feels like that was just not the best time for Biden to announce it. Like, I didn't know if he was trying to particularly piss off more of like the conservative religious audience, but geez, I don't know if, and I know that Easter itself changes based on the year, but the first year that you're having Trans Visibility Day, you're going to overlap it with Easter? Like, did the PR team like really think that would be a smart thing to do? I don't. Some of the moves that they make, it's just, what are they doing? Like, it just seems like they're continually shooting themselves in the foot for no reason. Legit blows my mind. But I suppose it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Alrighty. Folks, that's what I have for you. Welcome to a new week, a new month, and a new quarter. Today itself, kind of a weird, choppy, messy day, clearly favoring the Bears at this moment in time, but there's going to be a lot of time between now and the end of the day. So play smart, play responsibly, stick to your system. I beg of you, whatever your trading plan was, and if you don't have one, that's a big problem. Get a trading plan. But assuming you have a trading plan, I beg of you to stick to it and be much more hyper-focused, hyper-aware on the potential downside than the upside. You take care of your losses and the gains will take care of themselves. I absolutely promise you that. That's what I have for you today. Later on, we're going to be posting an update video of everything that went down today in my major watches for tomorrow. So make sure you like, subscribe, and most importantly, turn on your notifications for both Rumble and on YouTube. That video will be coming out tonight. Then we're going to be streaming tomorrow morning once again, or right around 9 a.m. So update video tonight, stream once again tomorrow. Sign up for the Discord. I'm going to go hang out there. If you want to trade with me, your first month is free if you put in the code Goonie. And then don't forget that Apex, their deal is going to be ending in a day and a couple hours. So it sounds like you have all trading day tomorrow if you want to take advantage of that deal. That's what I have for you now. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you later. I hope you make a buttload of money. Peace out.